Hey guys, Lucas from iExplore here. Tonight we're going to explore Takadanobaba, which is an area that I know pretty well. I used to hang out here a lot, but we haven't done it on the channel yet. This is the first time we're exploring around here. And for that I have the Yongnuo 50mm f1.8 for Z-mount, which was given to us by this company for a review, so this is a sponsored video. And I've shot with it a little bit in the last few weeks, but this is the first time on the channel, so I'll give you guys my impression live. But anyway, before that, please consider also supporting us on Patreon. That does help us out. It keeps us motivated to make this content for you guys. So please click the link, think about it. Anyway, let's get on to the video.
iExplore.
So it's a lively little area, Takadanobaba. It's not so huge, but there are some like nightlife stuff here, bars, restaurants, things like that. And a lot of people, as you can see during rush hour, which is around now, it's almost 7 o'clock, so a lot of people coming through here to go home. It's kind of a station between the downtown and the outskirts of the city. I want to shoot a photo here. Let's see if I can get a quick panning shot, if I can set it up before these bikes go. Let's see if I can pan these guys. Ooh, yeah, here we go. All right. Z9, did it fail me there? And then the autofocus. Let's see. On the second guy, I think I was too late. First guy was okay. Yeah, I didn't do a good job on it. I find panning shots, no matter how good the camera or whatever, to be so hard to get right in those kind of situations. Yeah, beautiful. Here I got a nice slow shutter shot of that train going by. I'm on the 30th, and at this distance, 50mm is just right to get that whole scene. Beautiful. I mean, for this shot, I probably didn't need 1.8, but I did it. I'll try to use the lens open a lot just to kind of push it, to the extremes. Because most lenses, including this one, I mean, when you stop it down, 2.84, 5.6, it's very sharp. So it's more about like how does it perform wide open, right? So let's do that. Wide open, aperture mode. Whoa, yeah. Gotta watch out. You can get run over. Let's see here. Maybe here's a chance for some composition with like this silhouette and then the guy there. Oh, that was kind of cool. Did I get that? Almost. The guy in the video was like drinking something, and the guy standing in front of it was like reaching for his head. So there's like some kind of juxtaposition there. Let's go under here. Although that shop over there is cool too. Let's cross. I like this area because of the way it's like under the train tracks. So it's got this kind of grimy, grungy sort of, Blade Runner-y, messy sort of vibe. All right. And then I did a slow shutter, and then I realized as I was shooting that I should have kept it on fast because there was an interesting guy going through. All right, let's cross. And he's going to be motion blurred. Yeah, it's too bad. Should have kept it fast. That's always the hard decision when doing street. Do I want to go slow to keep the ISO down when things are not moving? Or do I want to go fast, not worry about the ISO, but get things frozen in motion? See here, just want a nice group of people or lack of people. I'm going to step off the road maybe. But I just want the empty street with that bus there. The train above. Nice. Now that was exciting. So we just jumped right into it. Now I'm gonna go back to fast shutters, and then I like this little corner store here, corner bar or whatever. And I could see people in there, but not that clearly actually. I'm gonna shoot down the street as well. I'm like all over the place. There's so many things going on. So many interesting views and colors, and the blue hour is gorgeous, as you can tell right now. Let's go to 2.8 for this shot. Come on. Okay, after this guy, I'll have a nice clear street. Beautiful. Back to fast. Back to 1.8. Now let's see if we can work these silhouettes in here. Can we really see them? Yeah, not really, huh? They look a little better from across the street, but from here, it just doesn't look like much. You can get the kanji in there. But with the 50, I'm a little too close. Yeah, not bad. Let's keep going this way. love this little tiny iPhone repair shop. It's literally like the guy's in a closet repairing phones. It's funny. Shot this way might be cool. Yeah, the nice thing about a longer focal length like 50, which I don't usually use, is actually I can like shoot across the street like this pretty effectively. Whereas, you know, when I use wider stuff like 28 or even 40, it ends up being like a little bit far. Well, it's not a big deal, but it can be a little far. Those of you wondering, you know, I've only had this camera in a couple of videos so far, and you're not hearing the shutter. It's because it's silent. That's going to be a little tricky for me to then figure out where to put the photos in the video, so they might not always line up. I used to use the shutter sound to like know, okay, I took a photo there, so I should put a photo there. But it doesn't work that way anymore, so the exact timings might be a little bit off. The street's kind of cool. This is cool, but there's another street over here that I really want to go down. I think it'll be fun to explore. So, a little more about the lens as we go there. I mean, in terms of the physical attributes, there's not much to say. It has a focus ring that's electronic. It has an AF/MF switch, which probably not going to use because I can just change that in the camera. Shoot something here. And I'm a little too close, that's the thing. 50, a little bit tight. Let's go, we're gonna go in there, but I wanna go across the street first just to shoot it from farther away before we go down that street. Going. So one more thing I was going to say about the lens, it does have two buttons on the outside that I'm pretty sure, because I haven't tried it yet, but there are customizable buttons that you can use the Z, the Z cameras, or all Z lenses or many Z lenses have buttons that the Z cameras allow you to customize what those do, like adding things like a quick focus feature, or like you hold the button down, you can change exposure or something. But I never use them. I never even use these buttons on my, like Nikon Z lenses. So I assume that's what these are for, because what else could they be for? But that's not a feature that I intend to use. It might be useful for videographers a little more, for getting a certain, like a preset focus distance. You want to focus close and then far. But for me, they're there. But it's cool that they have them, because again, they're kind of embracing the Nikon system, right, which has these buttons. So it gives people the option. Oh, there's a little cat in there. The lady. But the cat hid just before I could get a photo of it, sadly. Man, it was nice. Like the cat and the lady were looking at each other, but just before I pulled up to shoot the photo, I got her. But oh well, you win some, you lose some. You shoot some, you miss some. Okay, keep going down the street. Beautiful, beautiful blue hour light right now. Those clouds up there are gorgeous. Would love to get something in the foreground here that sort of makes sense with this background. Looks good. There's this lady just standing here, but that's not that interesting. I can use her as like a pre-focus. So I focused on her, and now I know that anybody who's flush with her at the same distance is going to be in the focus. So it's like a in the moment zone focus. The view that way is nice too, but we're probably going to go up the street and just come back, because it quickly ends. There's not much more if you go all the way down there. Let's keep going. So it's a solid lens, and it's a good cost performance, because apparently, watch out, Axel. It's a good cost performance because apparently, from what I've seen, the retail price is like $350 or so, $360. So it's cheaper than the Nikon version, and it performs very well. But I will say I've never used the Nikon 50 1.8, so I don't have like a reference point of 1-to-1. But all I know is I'm pretty satisfied with it. But just like to be fully fair and give you guys the best review I can, even though we're not a lens review channel, there is one thing that is not that I don't like about it, I suppose, and that is it does have some pincushion distortion, like this way distortion, which doesn't really matter for most things I'm going to shoot, but sometimes I do shoot architectural things like flat on, and I like everything to be really straight and even. And for that, my 40mm Nikon is better because it doesn't have almost no distortion. So, but if that doesn't matter to you, I think this is a very solid lens, and I can see myself using it for portraits or like street photos like the ones I've been doing where I want to be a little bit longer, a little farther away. I'm going to shoot down this street a little bit and get some shots of the whole street again because the view is really nice. But again, missing somebody. It's not that exciting with just no particular subject there. It's kind of a bog standard Tokyo scene. But I want to get these two, why not? Alright, let's keep going. I want to go a little farther down this street and then we'll head back because you'll be able to see that it just kind of runs out. It's not a huge area, Sakadono Baba. And honestly, there's probably not much to shoot back here, maybe. But there's just one particular little restaurant that has a cool front. And I should have enough room with the 50 to get a nice shot of the front of this restaurant. And maybe we'll get somebody popping in or out of the door, which is always nice. Yes, it's this place here on the right. It's called Toriyasu. And I used to eat here a lot. I've been here many, many times. I just like the way it looks. It's got a really cool little vibe, and actually it's really good yakitori in there, which is like a grilled chicken sort of thing. And yeah, nice. So for now I'll do it on slow shutters. So if somebody comes out, I won't really get it. But I don't expect that. And I'm gonna go even farther back because I'm on a 50. I think that's a little bit tight. And I want to get the whole thing. Nice. Nice simple shot of a pretty location. Okay, and I'm going to speed it up. Go to aperture mode. And f 1.8. And I'll give it a sec. Maybe somebody will come out. It'll be cool, Get that lady going through. Did I get her? Yeah, not quite. That was a tough one to acquire the focus lock because I didn't even really try. I should have, started panning maybe earlier. And for that, maybe even I could do f2.8. Let's try that on this person here. Cool. Yeah, and then, when people come, they all come at once, huh? Yeah, these are pretty good. I'm gonna speed up my shutter for this. If we're I find that when I'm doing street photos in general, 1/250th is enough. But when I'm trying to get a silhouette, oh, there we go, of somebody going across my field of view, it's tricky at 1/250. It ends up being a little bit motion blurred. So I usually go at 500. This guy's gonna probably be told, no, we're full. Okay. So yeah, when people are just moving across the frame like that, even if they're just walking, I find a 500th to be better than a 250th. 250th is just a little bit too slow and they still end up a tiny bit motion blurred. So at the expense of ISO, I'm, getting my shutter speed up to get a little bit of a sharper result. And that's what we're getting. Now I just run a really nice silhouette. I don't know what that means. Maybe I don't know, business guy or definitely somebody without a backpack. Oh, here we go, a bunch of dudes. And so for this I don't need a 500, so I'm going to slow it down to 250. That actually doesn't look so good with so many of them. Yeah. Back to 500. Okay, here we go. Maybe this dude with the phone, he's good. But of course, a million other people show up all at the same time, and I don't get the photo. It's very frustrating, but that is how it is. Yeah, see, there's nobody, and then suddenly there's 10 people all at once. Come on, universe. All right, what about this gentleman here? Seems to be I got a good chance. Now it's all on me. It's on me to screw up. And I did. I screwed it up. I didn't get him. He's a little taller than I thought, and I tried focusing in the wrong place. All right, we'll head back over there to the other side. I'm gonna put my shutter speeds and stuff back in more reasonable range. I'm gonna go to the aperture mode, f2.8. So yeah, Another thing that I always get concerned about when it comes to third-party lenses like this is that that they're not going to play well with the Z body, with the camera body itself. That there's going to be some miscommunications. That like tracking focus doesn't work, but no issues. It feels exactly like my Nikon prime lens does, my 40 millimeter. So there's no issue. Like it just works very well, no problem. There's really, like I said, the only drawback of this lens for me is the pin cushion distortion, and it's honestly, it's very slight. I say it. I might have a photo that I took on another day already that demonstrates it. It's quite subtle. There's not a good chance right now to show it anywhere, and that's kind of the point. Is it's really not a thing that affects photos very often, at least the kind of stuff I usually shoot. So it's not really a major issue for me. If I go around here, there's something I just noticed that I think looks really cool. I'm going to shoot it from here. I'm going to step into this. Ooh, careful. And then I want to shoot this building over here, which has a beautiful vibe and great colors. It's nice and old. Okay, nice. Beautiful. And in this case, I mean, 50 is a little long for this. Oh, this guy's cool, but I'm not on a fast shutter, so these people are going to be motion blurred anyway. Let's try faster. This lady. Because I'm realizing there's actually really good light on the people going through here. And I'm at 4000 ISO, but oh well. And f2.8. I could be on f1.8, but because I kind of want the building also fairly sharp, I'm doing 2.8. It still will be a little out of focus. If I get a person, the building will be out of focus. Nice. I mean, yeah, I got him. He wasn't super interesting either, you know. These kind of photos where there's a cool scene and somebody walking by, I mean, you know, you gotta get a really good person. But I do like the scene. It's cool looking, so I'm glad I shot this well. Let me do one more. So I realized if I kind of tuck myself back here a little bit, there's a little more room. I could get a little bit of a wider shot of this cool building. All right, and then same thing. Ooh, there's a little moment with a kitty. This guy's gonna pet this cat. It's a nice street moment. And the 50 here is good, I think, because, you know, gives me a little more reach. Nice. And from this angle is good too. Whoa. But yeah, a little too close now for 50. But let's try it from also from this angle. I realize I can go over here. Maybe shoot this place like this. Because of the way it catches the light is really cool. Cool. Still probably could have used a longer lens for or a wider lens for this particular shot. But oh well. I'm gonna get this place too. There's some nice happenings over there. All right, let's get out of here. I think we've been here a lot, shot a lot of things. Beautiful. Make our way back to the main area. Take a look what's over there from this angle. I did say I wanted to shoot the entrance of this street, but from this direction, like as we're going out. Let's do that. That'll be maybe the last shot we're gonna do. And of course, anything else on the way that I spot that might be interesting. Keep my exposure comp on 0. As I found the Z9, generally I can keep it on 0, whereas the Z6 I'd often had to at night keep it on a negative exposure comp. Oh, felt a little bit of rain. Axel and I were keeping our fingers crossed that it doesn't rain. Although rain looks really cool, it makes these videos very difficult to create. So we prefer to do it without rain, honestly. The ideal case is that it rains and then stops raining and then we shoot after. These guys. Nice drunk boys. It's kind of a college town, I should say. There's a big university just down the street in that direction, and so a lot of young guys, you know, and girls party and drink around here. All right, let's put this on f4, a 30th, and just get this nice entryway and the way it's reflecting in the window on the right. For shots like this, I know they're very simple, and you know, like don't want to say takes no skill, but yeah, kinda. Like, they're very straightforward compositionally, but there still is some like artistry to them, in my opinion, especially in terms of timing. Like, I don't like when there's people sort of arbitrarily cutting off at the bottom of the frame. So I try to at least wait for like really good moments without, you know, with the right kind of arrangement of people for like a nice, you know, balance to the scene. Probably never get a perfect chance, honestly. This is also where actually a wider lens is better because I can move up more forward, and then I have less distance between me and the subject, so there's less chance for people to be in the way, but oh well. Okay, now there's nobody coming for like a while, and nobody coming from this end. I'm gonna also do a couple portraits, and then back to landscape. And I really just want one perfect one, right? But that's the struggle. All right, good enough. I think I got a pretty good one. Let's go over there. Actually, let me see from this side of the street too. Yeah, less interesting. Just wondering what it looked like over here, but I like the other side more because then there was a reflection in the windows up there, but it doesn't work from this side. Okay, back to 1.8, back to aperture mode. And let's just cross. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up here. As you can see, it's a solid lens. I mean, I like using it. I am more partial to 35s and 40s, and I do have a 40, so for me in the narrow Tokyo streets, the 40 is a little more viable. 50 is a little on the long side, but it does make a solid portrait lens, I'm sure, although I didn't use it for portraits tonight. But even for some street stuff, as you saw, it gives you a little bit more reach. That's just specifically about the focal length, but as far as the 50 goes, this is a solid one. And it's not just because they're sponsoring us that I'm saying good things, but it's a solid lens, no complaints. It works very well with my Z-mount camera, no issues. These buttons are cool that they added them. I personally don't use these buttons for anything, but it's nice that they're there. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, found it useful. Catch you guys in the next video, and remember always, challenge your eye.